everyone. I'm so happy to be here amongst incredible women, so inspiring and so beautiful inside out. Today, I'm going to tell you a bit about the beauty industry that I'm a part of. But before that, I'm going to start with my story and how so many beautiful women in my life have inspired me to become the person who I became today. Most importantly is my mother. I found out that I loved science, which is not very common because I was brought up the daughter of a very famous celebrity. I didn't have anyone from neither my father or mother's side that had anything to do with science or medicine even. But I discovered that I love science because I had an incredible teacher, a science teacher, Ms. Dina Al-Laham, back in Syria. She demonstrated to us in a very beautiful demonstration with a piece of tissue. I have a piece of tissue. With a piece of tissue that if you keep on tearing it apart to smaller and smaller parts, you'll eventually reach a part that is so small you can't tear it any longer. And this is the atom. The atom is the building blocks of everything in life, both the living and the non-living. And to me, from that point, things made sense for the first time. My life was very hectic, but this made sense. Science made sense, made everything look so beautiful and so organized. And I went back home so excited to have discovered what I love and told my mother, Mama, I know what I want to be. I want to be a scientist when I grow up. She was so happy that I wanted to be anything but a singer or an actress. So she told me, promise me that when you grow up, you will invent something that will make me young forever. And I told her, I promise I will. And it's so wonderful that I only realized years later, after I graduated, that I was able to fulfill my mother's promise without even thinking, just subconsciously, from the love I have for her, from how much she inspired me, how much she enriched me with so much passion and love for what I do, from seeing her love what she does and fight and stay strong and fall and go back on her feet. It just inspired me so much that I decided to dedicate my life trying to make her young and beautiful forever. So I opened a skin clinic after studying for years. I did my master's in skin formulation. I formulated for her as part of my work when I used to work in an R&D company, a cosmetic company, in Egypt. I formulated for her a very special nanotechnology encapsulated vitamin A for her skin, and that was my master's. She was very happy. That was her favorite cream. And then I went on to do my PhD in Cambridge and studied skin and what skin is made of and what harms the collagen fibers. And I can tell you the worst you could do to your skin is expose it to UV. I tested collagen against UV, against aging, against pollutants, all various pollutants and stresses, and the worst was UV. So please always wear your sunblock. I came back to Egypt under my mother's request and opened a skin clinic under my mother's request because she wanted me to leave academia and start working and having my own business. I was very afraid to leave academia because I've always been a nerd. I've always been shielded by academia. To me, science made sense. Everything had equations for explaining patterns, explaining outcomes. Life wasn't very predictable. People weren't predictable. You can never predict what a person can do, but you can predict how much energy is released in a nuclear reaction, E=mc². But in life, things weren't predictable. And to me, I enjoyed academia more. But I decided to face my fears and take on my mother's advice and start my clinic, which was the best thing I've ever done. I opened Dao Derma Skin Clinic based on my values, based on my scientific background. I applied science in the medical field and my values of what a human and what a woman is, or what a human being is. To me, a human is a mind, body, and soul. And only when we can find the balance between the three can we truly cure and treat. Being part of the aesthetic industry and the whole Botox fillers and industry, I had to have that as part of my services, but I did it very differently because I was very surprised that beauty had standards, and in order for you to be beautiful, you had to have certain ratios. It didn't make sense to me because everyone was beautiful to me in my eyes, and beauty to me comes from within, truly. A beautiful person and an authentic person and an original person, no matter what their proportions are, if they're happy and they're beautiful from inside, they're beautiful. So to me, working along those standards was not part of my protocol. I wanted to change that. I wanted to change the mindset to feeling beautiful from inside, feeling healthy, because being healthy actually affects our genetic predisposition. Epigenetics has proved that serotonin and cortisol, which is the hormone that's released when you're stressed, affects your genetic predisposition. So you're more prone to having disease if you're stressed, and you're less prone to having disease if you're happy. And to me, that is everything. Beauty comes from within. Was the slogan of my work, of what I wanted to do, and I'm continuing to do. And to cut the story short, going back to my mother, I was able to fulfill my promise to her. She is looking much younger, as I'm sure many of you know. Recently, she has looked much younger than ever. I'm very happy for that. But the secret to that is truly that she's become happier than ever. She found her soulmate, found her love. She's very happy, very confident. So it all added together with whatever we did and made it 10 times more beautiful. Because I believe a beautiful and happy and confident woman is a beautiful woman without the need of any interventions. Thank you. Thank you.